And we are live.
Oh, that's exciting.
Very
Welcome to
exciting.
welcome to the therapy session where we uncurl from the fetal position and talk about all the horrendous fucked up shit that's happening in the world. Uh, although
Literally.
I feel like we got some good news today. We found out Trump's health is bad. That's a that's a
Well,
win,
the
right?
crazy thing is, right? Like they never, aside from the bullshit, physical exams
Yeah.
and, some other information on the side around COVID, they never come out and talk about anything as it relates to his health, though. So it's kind of
Well, I
clearly
mean,
covering.
we get the reports from that drunk guy who's just like, yeah, he's 7 feet tall and 250 pounds, and he can crush entire vehicles with his bare hands. And I think my favorite part of this is what you pointed out on Blue Sky is that the big tough guy is all bruised from shaking hands.
Yeah,
Is he that delicate?
I think that you gave me that idea. At least the curse word.
He's so soft. Oh my goodness.
Literally,
He's
as you texted me that, my mom texted me as well and was like, come on. I mean, like the hands are like a dead giveaway that there's something else going on here.
Yeah, I saw somebody referring to him as President Cankles, and I kind of want that to stick. I have to be honest. I saw one thing that said he had a penis insufficiency, and I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. Then I read it again and it said Venus insufficiency, which that that makes a little more sense, I
It's
guess.
funny that you said the Kenkel thing because I saw someone post a up close video and it said Kenkel cam on Blue Sky, and it was just zooming in and out of his feet, which
Oh
I
my
thought was a
God, I
nice
love that.
touch.
I tell you, I hate Trump so much that I'm actually grateful to him for these moments of levity. Like when I can laugh at his misfortune, it makes me feel whole again. So,
I
what
mean,
what was the one you had where you think he's hiding the Epstein files in his ankles?
yeah, that's what I think. I mean, or at least like the 4,500 wires that Ron Wyden
Right.
kind of exposed in the New York Times today of
Yeah.
just one account.
Yeah. But that was so weird, by the way. I saw somebody point out the New York Times, instead of like actually writing the news of those wire transfers and Epstein, instead they wrote it as Ron Wyden's not letting this thing go. It's like, okay, that's interesting, but also the shit that he found is a pretty big deal. It's I just what the fuck is happening in the New York Times? I
Yeah,
mean,
it's really,
everybody
I
else
mean,
was
it is really big news for those that haven't seen it. We'll put it in the chat, but it also kind of makes you wonder too. You have to imagine that someone like Epstein probably was also, well, first of all, Donald Trump doesn't pay bills, right? So I could see a scenario in which he wasn't wiring any money and was getting a lot of stuff for free from this guy. But at the same time, I assume Epstein was also taking care of folks. So the amount of wires, anything that's tied to this potentially could expose just all sorts of, business CEOs and
yeah.
many, and beyond.
I mean, it's always been shady as fuck. And I think, like, for a lot of us on the left, we were just, it was one more thing where we were just heads exploding saying, why the hell isn't this a scandal for this guy? Why isn't the New York Times doing a deep dive on this thing? And I'm so grateful that it's finally coming back around because it's always been gross. It's always been right there in front of our faces. Uh, it's just taken way too goddamn long for people like that should care about this to care about this. Uh, it's amazing how much independent media is doing all the heavy lifting these days, and outlets like Wired are just absolutely running circles around the New York Times. Like I don't know why they're not more embarrassed to be getting their asses whooped. I mean, basically, if you want to cover corruption as a reporter, Trump is a fucking pinata on your birthday. Like he should be a
If you're
watchdog
not buying
reporter.
ice pinatas,
Yeah, that's what we're playing in LA these days. But it's just he should be a watchdog reporter's dream in that he's so corrupt, he's so dishonest. It should be just be presenting opportunity after opportunity for journalists, for good journalists, to do their jobs. And we just haven't seen that. We've seen it, but mostly from independent media. We're not seeing it from the big names, and it's been pretty goddamn disillusioning. Yeah.
Yeah, you make such a good point. And the other thing too is, if you think about it, the New York, someone like the New York Times or an entity like the New York Times has so many different resources. They literally
Yeah.
could put somebody from tech on that who could be doing the same type of work that Wired does, but they just don't.
Yeah, that's it. They just don't. It's not a lack of resources. You're right, because the New York Times has more than anybody. It's a lack of will. It's a lack of guts. It's what happens when you have a nepo baby in his 30s running the biggest newspaper in the world, and looking out for his rich buddies instead of looking out for, the people, those of us who don't matter, to the masters of the universe, right?
Yeah, exactly. All of us tuning in here.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I think we got some nice notes about last week, and I wanted to try again too, although it's not all encompassing of this week, just today. But Sam, with today's newsletter headline, "Killing Grannies, Slapping Fannies," it's not exactly subtle, although you're not known to be subtle.
Subtlety isn't really our thing.
What was the spark for this one?
So that wasn't me. We were quoting Curtis Sliwa, which I say it out loud now. It seems like a really fucking stupid thing to do. No, I've
That's
just
okay,
been.
because guess what? We have some video of Curtis Leo whenever you're ready for it.
Oh, please go ahead. It'll give me some
All
time
right,
to
let's
gather my
pull that
thoughts
up.
and defend the indefensible.
And I apologize in advance to folks. I don't know if this is 20 seconds or a minute. We're about to find out.
Eric Adams is damaged goods. Every day, a new case of corruption in the police department. They believe he's corrupt. Andrew Cuomo is a creep, slapping fannies and killing grannies. Everybody likes Curtis Sliwa. My favorable ratings are the highest in this election cycle. So get.
I'm so glad I didn't wear my beret. That would have been awkward.
Also,
Yeah,
I
that
find it
guy's.
hilarious, but not for the sake of this country. He literally is trying to be Donald Trump when he speaks.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the OG guardian angels, like basically like a vigilante crew. He's also a complete and total nut job. The thing is, it's a clever rhyme, and that's why we named the newsletter that, slapping fannies and killing grannies. And then you think about what it actually means, in that Andrew, Cuomo's a serial sexual harasser, who used city funds to defend himself. Uh, and then covered up nursing home deaths during COVID. So I don't know. It's a good reminder that Cuomo's a piece of
City
shit.
and state, probably, right?
Yeah,
State.
yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, I'm embarrassed how often I confuse my
He's running
Cuomos.
to
You can
he's
tell I'm
running
not a
to
New York guy.
illegally use city funds.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah. I'm in LA. I don't worry about New York unless they worry about me. No, I'm
Okay.
kidding. I tell you, the more I watch Zoran Mondani, the more I'm convinced we're watching a political savant. I mean, this guy, it's very obvious he likes the people he's running to represent, which doesn't happen that often. Even Trump, Trump gets this populist cred, but it's always been really obvious to me how much he secretly hates his own supporters. I think he looks down on them. He thinks they're rubes. You don't lie to people in such an insulting manner if you respect them. Mamdani is sort of the authentic version of the bullshit Trump, tries to slop on us, in that he really actually cares about the people he's running to represent. And it comes through because you just can't fake that shit. Like every time he puts out a video shaking hands or walking around different parts of New York, learning about different parts of New York, you can tell he's like really into it. Like he likes mixing it up with the people. And then Cuomo tries to do the same shit. And oh my God, it's like the beginning
The
of Young
shitty video of
Frankenstein.
him starting a
Oh my
car
God.
from.
Yes, he looks he looks like Frankenstein coming upon that little girl with the flower. It's just like, don't hurt her.
And it's such a good point you make about Trump and the way that he talks about Republicans, because it was just yesterday that he said stupid Republicans fell for the
Yeah.
Epstein files. I mean, literally, he's talking about his own base.
Yeah, he's called them weaklings. He's called them stupid. He's said, ex, ex supporters or whatever the term he used. Yeah, he's always seen them as rubes. He's just seen them as rubes he can use. If he needs to attack the Capitol or whatever. That's the thing. I think if you have a generation coming up of actual populists, people who actually are in this for the right reasons, it's really going to, I think, in retrospect, expose what a fraud Trump has been. Pretending to give a shit about working people and then cutting Medicaid is pretty fucking hard to reconcile, right? So yeah, I'm hoping there are going to be more and more younger candidates who really and genuinely care about the people they're trying to represent.
Yeah, no, I do too. And
Oh shit, are we getting love from Keith Edwards?
yeah, thanks for the 3 fires, Keith Edwards.
Nice. 2 of
We're
those are
having
mine.
they're probably for you. We're having a little get together for Simba's 5th birthday party tonight. We're hoping that Keith can make it with his dog, so we'll see.
Nice. No, I think the flames are just to show my complexion.
Those are hot flames. So not that it's hard to paint a brutal picture of Project 2025, but you did today and what it meant for older Americans. What do you think the average voter still doesn't understand about how real of a threat that Project 2025 is?
That it's coming for them too. I think the essence of Trumpism and why they're so upset over this Epstein thing is they don't really give a shit about Trump's policies. They want him to be a tool of vengeance against the people who look down on them. It never occurred to them to actually read Project 2025. They don't realize how much of this wrath is going to come for them too. They think they're on his side, and they don't realize that nobody gets fucked over harder than the people closest to the con man. That's the thing they don't get. I mean, there are people,
Look no farther than what's his name, Weisselberg and Michael Cohen, and
what do you mean?
No one gets more fucked over than the people closest to the con man. I
yeah.
mean, just look at these folks that were supposed to be his best buds. That he threw
I don't know if I'd include them. I think they sort of brought some of it. They brought a lot of it on their own. I'm talking about the people who are rubes, the people who think Trump loves them and cares for them and is looking out for them and fighting for them, and really he's selling them out every chance he gets. There are a lot of people. I don't want to make excuses for them. But if the only media diet you have is Fox News and AM radio, then you've got a pretty fucked up view of reality. You're being told by people you trust that Donald Trump is fighting for you, that he cares about you. It's people believe that. They get scammed like they get scammed in a million different other ways. And I think,
that's why there's so many infomercials at night selling, unreleased coins and,
absolutely
other pillows.
That's exactly right. So yeah, it's going to be a Texas situation. It's going to be when they should get an emergency warning from their local NPR station and they don't. It's going to be when the hospital they count on a county away closes because the Medicaid cuts. And even then, I don't think they're going to be, see the blinding light on the road to Damascus. I think instead it's, how do we blame Biden for this? Or this must be that damn Obama's fault, or AOC, or, pick whoever you want. It will never be Trump's fault, right? But to me, that's one of the most insidious things about him is how badly he fucks over his own people. So yeah, they don't know. They may never know, but it's coming for them too.
What you just mentioned in terms of Texas, do you find it interesting at all in terms of, given everything that they're doing to the National Weather Service, the fact that, we saw that viral video from the meteorologist in Florida a couple of weeks ago in terms of how, Brady's been at predicting storms and how he can't anymore with all the cuts and kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What's going to happen when Mar-a-Lago is gone? Like, is that just like a good thing for him because he gets a insurance check, or is it?
It's a great question.
At some point, something's going to hit him in Florida.
I mean, you'd think so, right? I mean, I'm sure he'll blame it on Obama and Biden too, right? No, my understanding
given his luck with the election, it's going to be like coming at Mar-a-Lago, go around it, and just take out a bunch of little,
I mean, I've always been surprised he didn't burn it down himself and try and collect the insurance. I'm guessing the crabs that live there would have put it out. I mean, I cannot imagine. That place must just be a
or burn it down before they got there for all the papers.
Oh, yeah, that seems like something he would do. Yeah, it's funny. I saw and I wish I was more clear on this, but I saw a social media post from Tim Miller at the Bulwark. Apparently, we just the American people, through our representatives, just agreed to spend $300 million to keep Trump property safe. So I guess that's that's his insurance payout right there. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't, frankly, if Mar-a-Lago was underwater tomorrow, I'll throw a fucking party.
Yeah, yeah, same here. I mean, you make a good point too, and I haven't seen the Tim Miller post yet, but the more he golfs, the more he makes, because they are, in fact, spending government resources at the resort as well. And we already know his rates are through the roof and don't marry up with anything that's actually fair market value.
Yeah, I mean, what's fair market value to stay at a South Florida orgy palace? Where the walls are painted with syphilis. I mean, I don't know.
Well, Roger
I
Stone
would pay
has
to get out of a place like that.
where Roger Stone has broken in the sheets once or twice
Oh,
with
Jesus.
more than one person in the room at the same time.
Man, now I don't even like sheets anymore. Thanks.
You took a swing at the media this morning. No surprise there.
That
For
doesn't sound like
soft-pedaling,
me.
for soft-pedaling what the far right was planning. In your view, what would an honest headline look from the New York Times tomorrow morning?
What was the story?
Well, I'm just saying in general, if you got to pick a headline for the New York Times tomorrow, what would you want it to be? Front page.
Trump presidency threatened by Epstein cover-up. To me, that's
I don't even think Epstein's been on the front page yet, right? At least above the fold.
I mean, that's the thing. You can't even call it news judgment at this point. Like it's a very obvious tactic to downplay bad news for Trump and play up bad news for Democrats. It's just, it's happened too many times to be a coincidence. I'd say that. And that's the thing. You asked me what the headline should be. I just spit it out. You know how I did it? I just told the truth of what's happening. It's not that fucking hard. It's not rocket science. You just talk to people like they're smart. You talk to people like they're not idiots, and you tell them the truth of what's going on. It's revolutionary. I know.
Yeah, invented just now. I mean, it's insane to me. You had a thread in today's newsletter about cruelty being the point from healthcare to immigration. Do you think Republicans are miscalculating how much pain voters are willing to tolerate?
Yeah, I do. That whole campaign was about lowering prices. I learned something today. We put something in the newsletter from Blue Sky of what I thought was a typo. It was a special on ground pork. And I just thought it was funny, so I put it in there. And a friend of mine from back home in Kentucky texted me, thank you, Leif. And he said, do you really not know what bork is? Bork is ground beef and ground pork mixed together, and it makes it about $2 cheaper a pound than ground beef, which is at a record high under Donald Trump. I'm embarrassed I didn't know that. I guarantee you Donald fucking Trump doesn't know it either.
I'm embarrassed that you didn't know that and you're from Kentucky, but...
Did you know it?
No. And I am south of the Mason-Dixon line. I actually almost pulled that image up for this because I thought it was so funny, but now I know what it is.
No, I had the same reaction. And, of course, I was pretty embarrassed after that to learn the truth. But also, it's just one of those glimpses into what's happening in America right now. Like, we're inventing new foods, basically, to try and lower the cost for consumers because Trump is fucking things up so badly. But, yeah, I was embarrassed as hell. I like to grill too. I think of myself as a meat aficionado. Don't pull that clip. In fact, I'm having my neighbors over to cook out tonight. I share a duplex with a couple people who just moved in, and I'm having them over to get to know each other. And
I think you could make it up to the Bork community by buying some and cooking it up.
It actually sounds fine to me. I like pork. I like beef.
A little sloppy
what's not to love?
A little sloppy
why not?
Never killed anybody.
Although I feel like I'm trying to make a good impression on my new neighbors. I don't want to be like, hey, here's your bork. I don't want to have to explain to them what it is.
I mean,
it's like the first guy who ever heard
the
of
costs
spam.
that I saw, it's becoming a delicacy.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, people are trying to save money. That's the thing. Ground beef, steak, it's all more expensive than it's ever been. And for whatever reason, that's just not a story unless a Democrat is in office.
No, I don't think we've talked about eggs or anything else in a long time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Trump just keeps fucking lying and saying, eggs are free now. They look at what I did. And, to me, the most telling thing
It
is
was only a week ago that we talked about the fact that he hadn't used the word grocery, which
that's
is
what I
just a
mean.
nice word in
Right.
a long time.
Well, that's it. When you hang out at Mar-a-Lago with a bunch of freaks like Roger Stone, none of them are going to the grocery store. Of course, he marvels at real, everyday life experiences of other Americans.
Yeah, we've seen enough Roger Stone videos of him having caviar at the the old Trump Hotel and everywhere else.
Yeah, they're really just men of the people, aren't they?
They are. Everyone, if you're a swinger like Roger Stone. Now, you called out Democrats, rightfully so, for not hitting back hard enough. If you were writing the next DNC ad, although they don't really produce ads, what would it say, or what do you think it would look like?
Oh shit. I don't
I'm
know.
putting you on the spot. You can always come
Yeah, a
back.
little bit. I mean, it would be
Maybe
basic.
about Bork.
Maybe about Bork or maybe about Epstein. Whatever the topic is, to me, it's less about the messenger, less about the message. I just want to be able to talk plainly to people about what they're going through. I want I want to see Democrats listening to what their party is saying instead of trying to tell their party what to think and what to feel. You and I were talking about this a little bit earlier. At least once a week, we get a comment or an email from somebody who says that thing you wrote about today is just a distraction. It's a distraction from the Medicaid cuts, or it's a distraction from Russia. It's a distraction from this or that. And I get it. I get where people are coming from. But I think when we tell people, when somebody's fired up about something and your response to them is, hey, that thing you care about is just a distraction, then what they hear is, hey, you're fucking stupid and you don't know how to care right. So I'm gonna do that for you. I'm gonna tell you what you should care about because what you're saying doesn't matter. And I think we've got to be more cognizant of how people hear these things when we say them, because I don't want to be pushing away Democrats who are upset about the Epstein stuff by telling them that caring about a human trafficker pedophile is just a distraction. To me, it's all fucking bad. We should be outraged by all of it. We should be shocked by all of it, and we should be talking about all of it. There is no silver bullet message that's going to bring down Trump. There never has been. We've thought that before. We've had Mueller. I mean, just you can make a very long list. Uh, so I think we get into infighting, we get into, almost self-destruction when we start telling each other what we're supposed to care about. I think we have a problem in our party that we all want to be strategists, right? We've all got the secret sauce for how to stop this inexplicable rise of idiotic fascism, and we get nervous when other people are fucking with that. If they're pushing us off message, if they're keeping us from talking about Medicaid cuts, then they're part of the problem, right? I just don't see it that way. I think, there's more of a chance of losing them because they feel like they're not being heard, they're not being listened to, than there is of, losing them to a distraction. So it's just been on I know it's not the answer to your question, but it's just been on my mind because we've seen it a lot. And I don't know what I would say is give your fellow Democrats, give your fellow liberals a break. They're not distracted. They're fired up. They're freaked out. They're sad. They're angry. They're having a really normal human reaction to some really abnormal shit. So yeah, let's try to give each other a break out there. All right.
I agree completely. On Substack, Dana Katzenmeyer says, "What do you think about people's medical records being given to ICE?"
Jesus. Hey Dana, thanks for the question. I think it's great. No, I'm kidding. The only thing I want to give ICE right now is the middle
I'm about to
finger.
hit end.
Don't do that. No, I mean, look, the only thing we should be giving ICE right now is a subpoena to investigate their practices and find out, who the fuck is running this show and why they're running it like a bunch of Gestapo goons. Oh shit, there you go, using the word goon. I swear I would never do that again. No, it's appalling. And it's even more appalling that the Supreme Court has really signed off on letting Trump do whatever the hell he wants to do with our private records or our government records. It's also just another reminder of just how completely full of shit libertarians have been basically their whole lives. I mean, this is the kind of thing that would have sent them into the streets with torches and pitchforks if Obama or Biden were still president.
Ted Cruz and Rand Paul,
I
if they
mean,
were in
how
the country.
fucking full of shit were they? I mean, yeah, I know. I saw Rand talking about arresting Fauci the other day. What a horse's ass. But yeah, Dana, to answer your question, I'm horrified. The amount of power we've given ICE, and I say we charitably, the amount of power this country has given ICE, to me is one of those things we're going to be dealing with the ramifications of for a long damn time. I mean, not just that, but they've got a damn database of immigrant children's DNA. It's like something out of a fucking horror movie. Like, why is the American government doing something like that? Like, it sure as hell isn't to reunite families, because we know Stephen Miller doesn't give a shit about that. But man, it's I read that story in Wired, of course, and I was just like, man, we've turned into some really evil bad guys over on this side of things.
Yeah, literally. And Sally says Bork was the SCOTUS nominee that Dems prevented.
Yeah, we ground him up pretty good too. It's it's interesting. You know, guys like McConnell and them, to them that was like an unforgivable fight. And of course, you look at Bork, he was a racist piece of shit. I mean, just the scummiest of scumbags. And they spent the next like 30 years being like, oh, we've got to screw over Merrick Garland and Obama because of what you did to Bork. Like, ah, fuck you. It's ridiculous.
Shan says, go vegan, no Bork.
I'm sorry, I can't. I really, it's funny, Adam and I, when we first started doing this together, basically every time we would get 10,000 subscribers, we would get a steak together. And that was like how we celebrated these milestones. I think we're overdue like 20 steaks at this point. It's
maybe
been a
more. The last time we tried to get a steak, Sam collapsed and had an emergency in the restaurant.
Yeah, that was embarrassing. I had kidney stones, and if you've ever experienced that, it is like the worst fucking pain I can possibly imagine. And it's definitely not something you want to experience in front of your friends at a nice restaurant. But whew, yeah, you know what?
It was a really nice restaurant. I said to Sam, I'm going to buy dinner just to see if he'd get back up, and he didn't get back up, so I knew it was real.
Yeah,
and there was no time to get anything to go.
It's been what, 5-6 years since that happened?
There's been some pretty serious fires in that area since then. I don't know if it's still around or not. I got another clip that I want to pull up. I think this one may be a minute, but I feel like it's worth watching. It was in the newsletter today, so I'm going to pull that up.
Cool.
During the Biden administration, not one time did Hakeem Jeffrey call for any exposition of what the Biden Justice Department knew. He doesn't care about the truth. He doesn't care about the people.
Hold on, Bill.
This is what
hold on.
he
I just
does.
gotta, hold on, Bill. Hold on. You said Epstein was convicted during the Biden administration. Epstein committed during the Trump administration.
Yeah, so am I wrong on that?
He was arrested in 2019, and he committed in 2019. He died August 10th of 2019. So the Biden administration was not involved in a conviction or a trial of him. They were in of Ghislaine Maxwell.
Okay. But he was arrested and indicted under Merrick Garland.
No, under Trump.
Who had all
under
of the
Trump.
information.
Epstein was arrested, indicted under Trump. In 2019, Trump was president. Merrick Garland was not the attorney general.
All right, sorry. I'm like spitting out of my mouth.
Yeah, I almost lost my water just seeing O'Reilly. By the way, that's noted historian Bill O'Reilly fucking up his facts there. Yeah, I think we're all shocked that that Bill couldn't hold it together or get it right. It is amazing though how much of the Trump rehabilitation can be traced directly to people forgetting that he was fucking president in the first place. It's like, who do they think was president when they say Minneapolis burned down? We know better, but who the fuck do they think was president then? It wasn't Biden. But I don't know.
It's
bet on
reminder.
the short memories of the American people. You never go broke, I guess.
I mean, again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. It is a little weird though, right? That Epstein died under Donald Trump. And then when Donald Trump came back, a video was released that there's now at least 2 minutes missing.
Yeah,
according to
almost 3
Wired.
minutes.
Yeah, and that video was released by Donald Trump as well. So I mean,
I don't think at some point, like if we didn't know anything, that's fine. We're not we still think so. That's a conspiracy theory. But when it's actually being covered up right in front of your fucking face, that's not a conspiracy theory. Here's something that's always blown me away. Bill Barr, who would have overseen the Bureau of Prisons as Attorney General when Jeffrey Epstein was in there, was literally nicknamed Mr. Cover Up by William Safire at the New York Times. And then that's all he fucking did for Trump was cover up his crimes. And everybody kept going, well, I don't know what he's up to. It's like, well, maybe we should look at his nickname. Do you think that might provide some insight?
Yeah.
I think
I mean,
that's
as
what's
you said
been
the other
so.
day, this is a full-on fucking cover-up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's why so many of us are losing our damn minds is because we're being gaslit so badly. These things aren't happening in the shadows where you're not sure if they're real or not. They're happening right in front of our damn faces to the point that it's insulting that we wouldn't notice it. And so then you start to question yourself, right? It's like, oh gosh, well, I mean, if it's that obvious, maybe it's something else is going on here. No, it's exactly what it looks like.
I like this comment from Joe Alter on Substack here. It's not a distraction, it's the key. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, I got another video from today's newsletter, so I'm going to pull that up really quickly.
All right.
Well, he's a terrible Fed chair. I was surprised he was appointed. I was surprised, frankly, that Biden put him in and extended him. But
yeah,
so you had that one in there this morning.
Yeah, he was about 2 seconds away from talking about his home in Delaware and how much he loves the Amtrak. I don't know, man. I'm not a fancy journalist like Jake Tapper or Alex Thompson, but if I spent the last several months positioning myself as the #1 official scribe of presidential health, then I might be taking a closer look at the guy who can't remember he appointed the Fed chair, just walking around with his fucking cankles and his bruised hands. I mean, seriously, if the national news media wants to have a conversation about a president's health, there's an orange motherfucker right in front of them that's got all kinds of problems. It seems like a good place to start.
Does that mean that and by the way, I've always said, I find it really interesting given who this guy is and who his following is. It's really weird that he is so ashamed of being white, right? And he's so focused on being orange. But does that mean another book is coming from Tapper and Alex?
Yeah, we're going to get the real inside scoop from 3 sources 6 years from now. I'm very excited about it. It's what we call accountability these days. It's why we have these ferocious watchdogs in journalism, and so they can get drinks at fancy Washington hotels with their sources.
I agree with that completely.
Mm-hmm.
Laura G on Substack, ICE is our SS.
It feels that way, doesn't it? It's I'm like a lot of people in that I'm generally pretty hesitant to make those kinds of parallels. But I mean, they're literally a secret police. They are hiding their identities. The lawyers are hiding their identities. They're pulling some really shady tactics to detain people. I just saw there was a 15-year-old kept in the one in the Everglades, which just makes me fucking ill. And by the way, Laura G, sorry we were late today. We had to push about 30 minutes. That's my fault. But I hope we didn't freak you out with about running late.
I'm just looking at these comments. A lot of people had not seen the Bill O'Reilly video. I know we had it this morning, but
he's a fucking
really
mess.
enjoying it.
My first reaction wasn't to the stupid shit coming out of his mouth. It was just like his physical appearance.
Just like
it's
totally
amazing.
Fucking stunned and out of it.
Yeah, it's amazing what Trump supporting does to people's physical appearances. They all end up looking like Peter fucking Navarro, like the Nazis at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like, if you like pause the movie while their faces are melting and before they've melted all the way off, that's what you get Navarro head. And that's what a lot of these people end up looking like. In fact, it'll happen to Caroline Leavitt too. You watch, about 2 years from now, she and Peter Navarro will be sitting right next to each other. You won't know who's who.
I'm writing that down because I feel like if Kyle's watching at some point, we need a graphic of like almost like a timeline. Maybe Peter Navarro's in the middle, and it's like something like Steve Bannon, towards the end, but like the stages.
But it's like when you leave a piece of fruit out, right? I mean, you just like time lapse it, and eventually that shit's rotten, sunken in, and surrounded by flies.
The fruit flies are MAGA in this scenario. They just get more and more excited by the folks that show up here. I was just trying to see if there's any other questions. Sam, you're hilarious from LEB.
Oh, that's nice.
Jim W, right on Sam.
I tell you, I fucking love doing these chats. The questions are my favorite part. I'm always eager to hear what's on people's minds.
Yeah, a lot of we got a couple Skeletor comments there about I think it's Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah, he's definitely looking very Skeletor these days.
It is very strange. I know we talked about this at the top. It is very strange to me that that the White House commented on this so quickly. I mean, I think it was only like within 24 or 36 hours of the photos coming out of the legs and the hands. And you have to imagine the only reason is to distract from the Epstein stuff. Sam,
I think it's always either that or it's to get ahead of a story that's coming out, right? So, like, you know,
that's true. I mean, Wired, like, I didn't think there'd be a second Wired story after the first. So the fact that they're still digging through all that kind of stuff makes me wonder. I'm also a little surprised if you think about all of the files, if you think about just the number of wire transfers alone that are in what Wyden is talking about, you have to imagine at some point there's going to be a leak or a whistleblower that probably does not go through the official channels just to put this out there. If there's this many documents and that many people involved, you know, as we saw with the latest Comey that was fired.
I mean, that's the reason I don't generally believe in conspiracy theories, is because conspiracies require two things. They require competence and they require discretion. And in my experience in Washington, those are two things that are in short supply. You know, to get that many people to keep their mouth shut about something is hard to do. People talk. Yeah, I don't know if they were trying to distract from that story or if there's another story come out about his health, about like how he has super gonorrhea that settled in his cankles, or I don't know. But I'm never going to stop saying cankles now. It's like my new favorite word.
It's probably and you know, the crazy thing is, like, that was an attack that was used against Hillary Clinton for years by the right, and the reality is it's now Donald Trump. And it was just a couple days ago that it was Trump's personal attorney from that New York case, right, that came out and did that tweet that was like, we all signed off on this and we're in agreement about the statement that came out from DOJ that had no signatures on it. So that to me is also another thing to add to the two that you mentioned in terms of a conspiracy, when you've got these dumb idiots that are publicly saying that we were all involved.
I mean, basically, I've got a new rule. Anybody who doesn't want this list coming out is probably on the fucking thing. That's basically.
Or anyone calling for a special prosecutor like Alan Dershowitz or Steve Bannon.
Right. Well, I mean, the thing about that is they want a special prosecutor, but they want it to be Matt Gaetz, and it's like, well,
that's the craziest thing. Lauren Boebert saying,
"Yeah, we don't want to send the
pedophile,
like sending the child molester into the hen house." You know, we don't.
Let's have Matt Gaetz go in and review all the videos, and all the photo evidence.
I mean, yeah, that's it's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. It's like sending a kid in a candy store to figure out who stole some chocolate. Like, it's,
literally,
yeah. Except that's a little too cutesy for the horrific shit we're talking about, I guess.
So before we get to Sam's happy ending, if he has one today,
oh man.
One more question for you. What if there's one thing people could take away every day from today's big stuff, what would it be?
You're not crazy. Those other motherfuckers are. I mean, that's what it is, right? It's just a
and you actually know what's going on too.
That's it. I mean, it's a running diary of just how crazy and dumb shit has gotten, to remind us all that we're the sane ones, that we're the decent ones, that we're on the side that's pointing and laughing and cringing and horrified by all this shit. You know, I'm hoping people get a chuckle or two. It's they're hard to come by these days. And then you've heard me say this many times, and I know people who tune in have heard me say it a lot too, is just that you're not alone. There are millions of us out there that feel the same way. We're all fucking screaming these primal screams at the ceiling or at the sky. And, you know, that to me, we started this newsletter to make ourselves laugh in a dark time, to make a few of our friends laugh. And then we just kept adding more and more friends. And I don't know, man, this community, this newsletter is why I haven't completely lost my shit in such a dark time. It's because I know I'm not alone. I know there's millions of other people who are feeling the same way I am. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of power in that. There's a lot of comfort in that. So yeah, that'd be the big ones. That and,
That's why
laughing.
Sam is still with us today. He also wants you to not unsubscribe ever.
Yes, please don't unsubscribe unless we really have it coming.
He monitors
I mean,
that very closely.
we have the we have these days where I'll write something really strange. And well, for example, the thing this week about Gooners, and I'll write this thing. Keep in mind we're living in Trump land, so I'm having days where I'm losing my shit too, and it'll go out, and I'm just like, oh no, what did I just do? Or is everybody going to run away from us because I just wrote such weird shit? So yeah, I'll start texting Adam, and I'll be like, man, is everybody running away? And Adam assures me that y'all have the same sick, twisted sense of humor that I do, and that we're all good.
Yeah, and if they don't, I don't tell you, and they're probably not on with us right now.
Oh yeah, well I appreciate that. Yeah.
But I will say thanks to everyone who's on with us. Usually, if we lose someone here or there, we get 100, 200 new people, which is always really rewarding and exciting.
And more than a little surprising.
I know. I'm shocked. 6+ years now, and we still got to get that steak. Happy ending for today. It could be from the newsletter for those haven't tuned in, or it could be something else that's happened. Or
I'm trying to think something good. One happy ending. I saw Superman. It's pretty awesome. I can do better than that.
I talked to Brett Mycelis. He saw it too. I think he saw like really late at night, and he was super impressed. No pun,
for me, honestly, the only thing that kept me from giving like a full-throated endorsement was it was a little dark for me. It's it's like a lot of shit you watch right now that just has real relevancy in our current world. And there are times when I can really appreciate that, like Andor, and then there are times when it just really upset. It's just a shitty reminder of what we're going through. I wouldn't put Superman in the latter category because it is a really cool fucking movie. But like, I was at the Comedy Store, the famous comedy club out here in LA. It's amazing. You go watch these.
Where I fell asleep last time I was there. I don't know how.
So
and Allie dragged me out before I became the joke of everything.
But I mean, it's crazy. For like $15, you can go see these like, huge, big name comedians. And I saw Bill Burr there a couple years ago. And I love Bill Burr. I think he's so funny. He does that thing that I wish more Democrats would do, which is just talk like a human being. But he came out this one night. And a lot of the times when they go to the Comedy Store, they're testing out new material before they go on the road. And he came out and he was like, the Proud Boys are Nazis. And like, nobody said anything. He's like, yeah, the Proud Boys, they're just like fucking Nazis. And like, it's kind of uncomfortable. And he goes, what? You don't think it's funny? What are you, a bunch of fucking Proud Boys? And I'm just thinking, no, man, I agree with you, but it's just not funny. Like, it's just really upsetting. Like, it's not so much a punchline. It's just true. And so, yeah, I would put that in that, Superman, I don't know. There's a tech, there's a Silicon Valley villain, which is just a very real thing in our world these days. And so, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I was being too delicate. Like Trump.
Yeah, to your point, like I'm trying to think of two things that have been like that for me recently or in recent years, and it's Don't Look Up and what was the other one? Civil War, where they're like
I couldn't even
coming
watch
up through Charlottesville, and I'm like, my heart's
it.
like sinking as I'm up here in Northern Virginia,
Yeah, no, I could. In fact, a friend of mine from back when I was covering the White House was like, "Have you seen it? Because it's hard."
It was incredible. I mean, it was, but it was a lot.
A lot of people told me they didn't want to watch Andor for that reason. They were like, I see this shit on the news every day. I want to watch that too. And I get that. But I will say the thing about Andor was it shows you where to look for the hope. It shows you, how rebellions come together, how, everyday people get pushed too fucking far and they start pushing back. And on top of that, it's just brilliantly written. It got snubbed largely by the Emmys this week, and so I'm super pissed off about that. Or I would be if I didn't have a million other like really.
I saw that in last like 24 hours. The nominations came out, and it wasn't on there.
Yeah, I mean, it got nominated, I think, for Best Show, but like all the acting categories got shut out. I know a lot of people, like a lot of our readers were saying they think Diego Luna got shut out because he's been calling out Trump on immigration. And I think there's probably some truth to that because he was, just incredible. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I mean, the folks behind all this stuff are just terrified of their own shadows, right? Like that, which reminds me, didn't you guys have like a Hollywood commission that was like created by Trump? Have we heard about that?
We do. It's John Voight, Mel Gibson, and I can't remember who the other fucking loser is, which is probably not the first time that's happened to whoever it is. Yeah,
They
I
haven't
know
put
they were
like
like
Mel
meeting.
Gibson up on a cross or anything.
I mean, that's the thing. Mel Gibson is a truly deranged son of a bitch, and I don't know. I don't want to watch Passion of the Christ 3. Electric Boogaloo. It's
Live.
yeah. It's funny. I've heard about them taking meetings, and I've heard that a lot of creatives in LA, especially creatives from communities of color or LGBTQIA plus communities, they do feel like they're going to get shut out. There'll be less money to take chances, to tell stories from communities that aren't mainstream white communities. And I think there's probably a lot of truth to that. I'd say the good news is we've never lived in more of an age where you're able to sort of make your own shit. It's sort of like the media comparison is the New York Times stopped getting the job done, so Midas had to, be born to do it for them. I think that's probably what you're looking at, maybe in Hollywood. Although I'll say, for all the talk out here about a dying industry, I've gone to the movies, I think 3 or 4 times already this summer. I'm going to go back when The Naked Gun comes out. Uh,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was coming out again.
Oh, dude, Liam Neeson is in a reboot of The Naked Gun. Yes, it's going to be. I'm very excited about it. Yeah, it's. They've got a great OJ joke in the trailer.
He gets no more mistakes. He
What's
got
that?
one, and that's it. He cleaned up.
Who?
Didn't Liam Neeson have that like racist slur for a hot minute?
Did he really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
shit.
he got canceled for like a hot minute and then like cleaned it up. But
Oh,
if I'm
wow.
wrong, then I will correct myself.
No, I don't remember that one.
I think
well,
that
shit.
like that's why he's back now. I think he
Interesting.
did his time out.
Well, I knew he was doing a bunch of shitty action movies, but I've always thought he's a pretty funny guy. Like he does a Family Guy. which
He's
I
an
thought was
incredible
funny.
actor.
Yeah, I hate to hear that though. I hope it's not as bad as it sounds.
I hope I'm wrong. I did have one other question for you, but I kind of forgot now.
It's all right. You know how to reach me.
Yeah, exactly. Any final words?
Trying to think. Anything exciting? Yeah, my final words are this. Try to have some fun this weekend. That's Dr. Sam's orders for y'all. You're living in quite possibly the collapse of American democracy. The people out there who are fucking things up want you to be miserable. They've made it their whole personalities, drinking liberal tears. So to me, it is a real act of defiance and rebellion these days to do something that brings you joy, to do something that's fun, that makes you smile, that makes you laugh. I know it's not easy to do when so many people are hurting, but to me, one of the biggest fuck yous you can give to Donald Trump and his crew is to enjoy some of your life. Don't let them take that from you. So yeah, that's my off the jack final thought for today. How about that?
I think that's a good one. And we also call him Uncle Sam because he is an uncle. So
Yeah.
go out there and barbecue some Bork.
Yeah,
this
I'm heading
weekend.
to Kentucky. I'm heading to Kentucky next week to see my family. It's been a little while, and I tell you, it's always so nice to see them. And it's also a huge culture shock for me to go from LA to my old neighborhood back in Kentucky. And but I'm very excited to see the
every
nieces and
single
nephews.
day, every single week, I look someone up or hear about somebody and they're from Kentucky. Like
It's
someone
wi- it's
really
wild.
interesting or famous who's like just done incredible things. It's amazing how many people are from the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Yeah, no, it's wild. My hometown is responsible for Johnny Depp, which we don't really talk about that much anymore, and Florence Henderson, Mrs. Brady, and then like a bunch of NASCAR drivers and stuff like that. So yeah, we've had a few.
Isn't it Hunter S. Thompson too?
Hunter's from Louisville, yeah, or he
He's
was
from
from Louisville.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clooney is from Northern Kentucky. Jennifer Lawrence is from Louisville. Yeah, it's wild. We turn out
And
some.
what's your name too that they wanted to run for Senate for a long time?
Ashley Judd. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see her like every time I go to a Kentucky basketball game, I'd see her. Yeah.
I always love conversations like this because Allie says I'm not cultured, so I'm trying to.
That's gotta hurt.
I'm in the checkout line. I try to pick up some of those magazines that are probably.
Yeah, I
not
don't think
telling me
that
the
I don't
truth.
think that counts as culture, buddy. That's
No. That's why I look at the Emmy nomination list nowadays.
well, that's it. Watch Andor. It's a prestige show. It'll
I
make
wrote it down. It's one of two things I wrote down. That and then the spectrum of how Republicans look after they become Trumpers.
Oh, the Navarro scale. Yeah, I like it.
Exactly. That's what we're calling it. I think that deserves its own website.
The Navarro scale. Just
No
watch
one
the big.
listening
Just
buy it.
watching Trump aides decompose in real time.
Nobody buy the NavarroScale.com. All right. Well, this was awesome. So we'll leave it open for 60 seconds for folks. Maybe
Cool.
there'll be a surprise one over the weekend or something. Who knows? You never know.
Man, this is so much fun. I'd like to start doing it more. I think I don't usually dig the video stuff, but I'm really enjoying the hell out of this. So yeah, maybe we can do more of them.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And thank you guys to, all the subscribers, paid, non, whatever you are, but also every time we do one of these, thanks to you all sharing, we get a whole bunch of new people. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I'm hoping I'm a little less red today. I was only in the water for like 30 minutes, so maybe
You
that helps.
are, because I wanted to say that you prepare your meat, the color of your face, but it's looking a little well done today. So.
I bought a big floppy hat to wear out there. It's got a chin strap and everything.
But your plant looks like it's doing well. Your audio and video are better today.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, I had the Spectrum. Speaking of Spectrum, the Spectrum guy came. I was having internet issues, so hopefully that's helped a little bit.
It did, yeah. Maybe in the future also we'll just unplug and plug before we go live.
Always a good idea.
All right, I'll do the 60-second countdown. Sam, thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining.
See you guys soon.